Please switch on the projector. Projector is working here or not? Paste. Hello. Go and contact to Dinesh sir at this floor faculty room. Is this working? Projector is working. No. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, okay, okay, fine. Just fine. Now, to see the lab on NAT, we have requirement of a network, which we have already designed many times. Fine. So now, just see. Anybody has tried it? किसी ने इसे बनाने की कोशिश की? खुद से ट्राई करते तो भी हो जाता. Anyway, see, this is a pre-designed scenario, and in this scenario, fine. Now see, this is the IP of this machine, 1.0.0.2, no doubt 1.0.0.3, and this machine 3.0.0.2 and 3.0.0.3. Yes, routing done. Now see, desktop command prompt, I'm going to ping third network machine, ping 3.0.0.2. Fine, we are getting reply. It means there is routing, there is proper network, all interfaces are up. Okay. See, RIP. It doesn't matter. Any routing protocol can be. Enable so IP route. Fine. In this routing table, here R represents RIP. Fine. Now, at router 1, I'm going to configure static NAT. Okay, a static NAT. So for configuration of a static NAT, first of all, go to configuration mode, then just put a command, IP NAT inside IP NAT inside. Now source a static. Now IP address 1.0.0.2. I'm going to translate the IP of first machine, and IP is 1.0.0.2. But in which IP? So at serial interface, we are using 11 series IP. Fine. But in 11 series, we have already used 11.0.0.1 and 11.0.0.2. Fine. That's why I'm going to give it another IP, that's 3. Fine. This is the configuration of static NAT. IP NAT inside source static and IP of first node, and then first private IP, then one outside IP, or you can say public. Fine. Now, after doing this, we have to specify which interface is used for local network or inside network, and which is for outside. So interface fast Ethernet 0/0 is our inside network interface. So at this interface, just give a command IP NAT inside. And at serial 0/0/0 IP NAT outside. Fine. In this way, I have just instructed my router that fine, local network is attached with fast Ethernet 0/0 and public network or outside network with serial 0/0/0. Fine. Configuration done for a single node. In this configuration, I have done all manual tasks. Fine. Suppose I have to translate second machine IP also. In that case, again I will give the same command. Same command means IP. Yes. IP NAT inside source static. Then second node IP 1.0.0.3. Then 11.0.0.4. Okay. This is a static NAT configuration. Note down this step. That's it. Okay. Now see the output. Okay, you are writing down. Do it fast. Do it fast.
जब इंटरनल एग्जाम होगा तो उस टाइम में CCNA का भी
नहीं, वो आपका जस्ट एक वीक के बाद में होगा. Yes, examination definitely, but just after completion of your add-on paper. I will give you time for 1 week. Yes. Dinesh sir is in faculty room. He's not, sir. Wait. Have you finished your paper? Yes. Yes. Approx after 4-5 classes. Okay. Now, see the output. Now, this machine will ping the first machine of first network. Ping. Now it is 1.0.0.2. This is the actual IP. But what will happen? See. Reply is coming from 11.0.0.3. Why? Just because of NAT configuration. Static NAT configuration. And if you will try to ping that machine with this IP 11.0.0.3, this case also you can get it. Suppose somebody is trying to trace the IP of your machine from outside of your network. Then he will get only reply from 11.0.0.3. This is the security of your network. Fine. In this way, you can hide your internal node IP into outside network. Fine. But suppose now I'm moving towards the second type. Suppose in this network there are 100 machines, and I have to translate all machines' IP address into public IP address, outside IP address. In that case, what should I do? I should write this command 100 times, right? Next IP is 1.0.0.3 and the public IP is 11.0.0.4. Then for every node, I have to, if it is 100 node, 50 node, 200 node, 500 node. In that case, it is very difficult for the administrator to write these commands again and again. And there may be a chance of mistake also. To resolve this issue, second type of NAT is used, that is dynamic NAT. Fine. Now, I'm just going to remove this command. To remove any command at Cisco device, we should put no just before the command. No. Fine. Clear? At path ether interface, I have given command IPNAT inside. At serial interface, IPNAT outside. It will be same for the next type also. Now, for dynamic NAT. In dynamic NAT, automatic translation is done with the help of first thing ACL, second thing pull. So first of all, I'm going to define ACL. ACL means access control list. Access list 1. At this time, we have to specify only permit statement. Permit which network? 1.0.0.0. Allow all nodes of this network. 0.0.0 is showing that this NAT will access list. In this access list, you are permitting all node of this network. Fine. And in access list, we use wildcard mask, and its wildcard mask is 0.255.255.255. Yes, please. You need a pass to wait for 15 minutes. Yes, 15 minutes. Just wait. Fine. In this way, I have allowed 1.0.0 network. Fine. Now I'm going to define pull. Pull for the range of outside IP address. IP NAT inside IP NAT, sorry, I made a mistake. IP NAT pull. Okay, sorry. Pull, just use a name. For example, I'm going to use name CIMAGE. Fine. And in this pull, I'm going to specify IP public IP range 11.0.0.3 to 11.0.0, for example, 100. I have only 2 machines, but I am specifying approximately 98 IP addresses. 100. Then specify net mask. Net mask means subnet mask. Net mask 255.0.0.0. Fine. Now I have defined ACL to allow local network. I have defined pull of public IP to provide one specific IP to every local node. Fine. Now I have to define the NAT. IP NAT inside source list one full CIMAGE. Now I am defining NAT, and this NAT I have used ACL value 1 and full name CIMAGE. Now, then with this command, if any node which has been defined in rule 1 will try to communicate from outside network, or any node of outside network will try to communicate with this with this network 1.0.0.0, in that case it will automatically provide a public IP or outside IP from CIMAGE. And in CIMAGE, we have defined a range of public IP. This is 11.0.0.3 to 11.0.0.100. Fine. It will be an automatic process. Okay. After this command, I should give instruction at fast Ethernet interface and serial interface, and I have already given it in the last example in the static NAT. Fine, it means NAT configuration is okay. So just note down these commands. First command is this. Actually, there is no need of range. I'm just specifying all nodes of this. I'm representing the network with all zero values. 1.0.0.0. This is a network IP. Fine. After this command, just note down. Note down these two commands. What? Last full CIMAGE. Actually, in this full, I am just defining the range of outside IP, because I have to translate IP address of multiple node, multiple inside node. To translate IP of multiple inside node, we have requirement of multiple outside IP. That's why I am defining the range here. This is outside IP range. ये अगर नहीं करेंगे तो कोई भी लोकल नोड जो होगा, मान लो पहला नोड ट्राई करेगा तो उसको कौन सी आईपी मिलेगी? तो 11.0.0.3. उसके बाद कोई और नोड ट्राई करेगा, उसको 4, 5, 6 तब तक मिलेगा जब तक 100 तक ना पहुंच जाए। मान लो इस तरीके से टोटल 98 आईपी एड्रेसेस हुए आउटसाइड आईपी, और आपके नेटवर्क में 100 मशीन, तो 98 फर्स्ट 98 मशीन जो होगी उसकी आईपी ट्रांसलेट हो जाएगी, बाकी जो दो बचेंगे उसकी ट्रांसलेट नहीं होगी और वो कम्युनिकेट भी नहीं करता, क्योंकि आईपी एग्जॉस्ट कर गया। ठीक है, अभी क्लियर है? Fine. Now see the output. Now this machine again will try to print 1.0.0.2. It is getting reply from 11.0.0.3. Now I'm going to ping second machine. There are only two machines. 3 at this time. Fine. Okay. Now, in these two types, we have secured our network nodes, but there is no saving of IP. there is wastage of IP. For this communication, every machine should have two IP addresses, one inside and one outside. It means there is double use of IP addresses. That's why we will go for the next type. And next type is PAT or NAT overloading, in which again we will do the same thing, but just come to see. For third type, ACL will be same. Okay, translate all nodes IP address from this network 1.0.0.0. But second thing is okay. Just I'm just putting this command because there is an entry in NAT table, and if there is an entry in NAT table, you cannot remove configuration of NAT. Fine, that's why I have given this command. Clear IP NAT translation. Now, go to configuration mode and just remove this command. No, first of all, this configuration IP NAT inside source list, one full CIMAGE, then remove this command. No. Now we have only ACL configurations. Okay. So for dynamic NAT, just note down this command because it is required. Okay. And now IP NAT inside source IP NAT inside full in place of CIMAGE Patna, PATNA Patna, and IP address 11.0.0.c, again 11.0.0.c. Means this is a range, but in this range there is a single. And net mask 255.0.0.0. Fine. At this time, I'm going to use only single public IP address. IP NAT inside source list 1 full Patna, and now I have to give one more word, that is OVER over LOD. There is overload because only one outside IP is used to translate every node IP address. Yes. Fine. Okay. Now see the output. I'm going to again let this machine. This is 1.0.0.2. I'm getting reply from 11.0.0.3, and again we are getting reply from 11.0.0.3. This shows that only one IP address is used to translate every node IP address. This is NAT overload. Fine. Yes. And this type of NAT is used at every router. If you have an internet connection through any ISP, then there is a NAT, there is a static default. Fine. That's why we all are able to use same IP address in different networks. Okay. Okay, fine. I'm going to stop the session. Yes. So yeah, now this is done at the terminal router on. If you are doing it in the middle router, in that case, your node will communicate only in one direction. Because you have to specify which public interface, which outside interface,